Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we have so much crazy news going on right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. But right now, we have a really big push on the marketing team when it comes to God of War. And we are seeing drama. We are seeing leaks. We're seeing embargoes being removed. We're seeing a lot of bad stuff when it comes to God of War Ragnarok. So we're finally now seeing a lot of these developers, like the big head honchos like Cory Barlog, kind of just being done with it. They're just frustrated, man. They're not having a good time. A lot of people on the internet are kind of upset too, because there's been a few like little spoilers and stuff like that. So big warning, please. Big warning for this one out to anyone out here. We're gonna talk about it, but obviously, be careful. If you guys care about spoilers when it comes to going to Twitch streams, when it goes on Twitter, make sure you guys block words you guys don't want to see. Even for a video like this, like don't even go out in the comments. I mean, if you're a risky person, go for it if you want. But just be careful in case you guys care a lot about the story, because we still have a little bit to go. But right now, there's been news articles getting stuff. We've been seeing embargoes being broken. We're seeing early releases. Some folks are trying to post the end of the game already to get some internet clout. It's all over the place, and these developers are kind of just stressed going on with this. So let's go talk about this, talk about similar stories, and make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 $500 giveaway. Twitter and Twitch streams down below for those bonus entries. We'll definitely be streaming up God of War on Twitch. And we also do have the Target Amazon links down below. So as we mentioned, the embargo was lifted, and there was about like a 5-ish hour or so that we saw embargo for a lot of these different types of games. So sometimes, if I've done a lot of stuff on Twitch or YouTube, they'll go give you an embargo and be like, you could play up to chapter 2. We only want to see the first chapter, get the first impressions, you get your articles on in. That's all we want you to see. But then sometimes, obviously, you have access to the game or press game. Some people will just be like, I don't care, and they're gonna go play. They're gonna beat the game. Like, they're gonna be like, oh my god, I want to play this game so bad. Whether it's for like recording YouTube content, news articles, how-tos, or whatever, sometimes people will go past the embargo. Now, sometimes you're allowed to, but a lot of the times, and in this case, 100% of the time, you cannot post end-game content, end-game cutscenes, more stuff past the embargo set, and well, that's been happening everywhere on the internet. One kind of good showcase over here is Cory Barlog, who, as you guys know, is pretty much head up there when it comes to God of War Ragnarok, and you just go and see his tweets are funny because they're so unhinged. He just has the guy who is just like, what is going on? When there was a huge embargo leak, and kind of like why I'm making this video. Right now, God of War, the information is out there for the end of the game. I'm not going to spoil you guys on my YouTube channel, would never want to, but right now, people are apparently saying that they have the full game access, which is true, reviewers do have the game. Some people have tried to post the end game of the game itself on YouTube, on news articles, even on Vimeo. I think even TikTok itself was having like some post-late game content that was being spread. Now, obviously, because this is breaking embargoes, number one, there's not as many people with full-on access with that, so it kind of thankfully is not spread out everywhere like how GTA 6 leaks were. But number two is that it could also be gladly taken down because, you see it goes viral because people want to see God of War gameplay or the end or cutscenes. And then thankfully, like, you can just easily take it down. It gets like 500,000 views. You kind of know it's not their content out there. But the big issue is that it's out there. Like, we're seeing folks out here up on Twitter, you guys can even see, that have like pretty much every single character's name, like Kratos, God of War, everything, so it doesn't show up on Twitter. And as well, there's also people calling out people that said stuff like, say, in Brazil, people were basically getting keys for this a few months ago. And people, like, not a few months ago, a few weeks ago. So people have had access for a while. And on top of that, too, people are posting up, like, images or tweeting out pictures or putting up on Reddit. We're seeing stuff everywhere. So we're seeing story being spoiled. We're seeing, like, Twitter trending going on everywhere, too, as well. It's not all over. It's just not good. Like, there's leaks everywhere. People are trying to their best to confirm if the leak is true. And like, I'd probably go and say, add all if you guys care about spoilers, like someone like for me, I kind of care. Like, I mean, I can still play and enjoy a game without a spoiler, but I want to know. If there's like a twist, I don't want to know about it. I just want to experience it. If there's like a big dramatic ending, I just want to go and like see it myself. That's why I always hate whenever those big popular movies such as Spider-Man, because all the tickets for me when Spider-Man came out originally a few years ago, they were sold out everywhere. And then people saw it midnight release and you're seeing it on Twitter, TikTok, and everything, and you're just like, oh, well, that's good to know, I guess, at least for me, at the end of the day. So we're seeing folks all over the place. We're seeing warnings. This is my big warning for you guys. If you guys care about it, obviously avoid Twitter. You should probably just be avoiding Twitter anyway, besides just because follow me. But yeah, it's been all over the place. We're seeing drama everywhere. There's leaks everywhere. People are frustrated, obviously. And for a game as high profile, like God of War is probably going to be, in my opinion, probably game of the year. It's like going to be, if not top 3, probably the game of the year. People want to see it. The hype is there. It's been multiple years. It's like a very, very long-term series back from the OG games. Like, people care. So that's my big warning. Make sure you guys are either on YouTube. Just don't look at YouTube comments. I'll make sure all my content, we're not going to talk about spoilers or anything in here. Just don't look at YouTube comments. Don't go look on Twitter. Be careful and make sure you guys are okay. And my heart does go out for all the Santa Monica devs, because it does seem like this situation's been all over the place. Now, we're going to go talk about a few other various kind of side stories too, which are kind of fun. And this is more on less leaks, but more so maybe planned leaks, where we're seeing actually saw Hideo Kojima, the Death Stranding man himself, was hanging out with the PlayStation CEO. Now, we have been hearing rumors too, both for the Death Stranding 2 release coming out in the near future, mainly because all the actors have kind of somewhat pseudo-leaked it, but as well, we've also seen like Kojima do some like tasteful tweets and pictures with like the supposed actresses in it, so like you can kind of tell it's on his way. Plus, the good old Norman Reedus, I think, even somehow mentioned it too. We've seen like Mo tracking, like body motion capture and stuff. So I think at the end of the day, it's probably gonna be pretty obvious. Like, it's probably gonna happen. So it's kind of interesting to see where Jim Ryan comes in the picture. So I'm not sure if they're trying to go and they're talking in person to go do some business deals to lock in Death Stranding 2 on, PC. It's kind of maybe good for the long term of the consoles too, for like just in general, because if you have good tie-ins with one of the CEOs, like, kind of seems kind of nice. But as well, we've also been seeing some other intriguing stuff too in regards to a Metal Gear Solid movie, where I'm not sure if maybe Sony Pictures, because they have done movie games before, think like Uncharted and Spider-Man, like kind of, similar kind of ish, where maybe they'll try their best to maybe discuss some of this stuff up. Now, I want to say I think it does still go and belong to Konami, but as you saw, Silent Hill actually just came back and was announced, so very intriguing with that. So there is always that possibility that Kojima and Jim Ryan were maybe discussing this too as well. Maybe potentially a brand new one too, because they do have a lot of connection with Konami. Or as well, maybe Sony's trying to go buy out the rights, and they want to see if it's worthwhile to remake a Metal Gear Solid or a Silent Hill game, with Konami as a proper purchase. Very intriguing. But as well, they also do have the Sony Motion Pictures that has done very, very good. And, they have the Last of Us TV show. Honest to God, Metal Gear Solid would probably be a pretty good either TV or movie. I think a movie would be fantastic, have a full, pretty long... I think, if anything, I know Kojima's a very big movie buff, and he would probably do anything in his life to have a Metal Gear Solid movie, with real people and make it really good. So I'm just saying, this is probably one of the bigger news stories, at least in terms of potential. Although it's always on speculation. I mean, you could even go and see his thing is literally 70% of my body is made of movies. So imagine a Death Stranding movie, because he owns the IP. Or imagine a Death Stranding 2 movie, tie on in. Or imagine a Silent Hill, Metal Gear Solid, whatever it might be. Probably would churn a lot of money, but that's just on my take on that one. So we have some also intriguing news too over as well, coming over here for Silent Hill, where apparently actually the release dates actually aren't going to be that long. Kind of cool to see. So basically, the scratch could be itched a little bit quicker, because Bluebird Team has confirmed that its upcoming PS5 remake is in the final stages of development. Speaking at the GPW Innovation Day in Poland, as reported by GameSpoof, boss Porter Babino revealed that the project has been in development since 2019 and is actually currently in a late stage. So it's probably maybe it makes sense to why they promoted it now, because the game is actually closer to launch than we're all actually expecting. So very cool to go and see that. And as well, it's also been revealed that it's using Unreal Engine 5 too as well. So you guys can probably expect some higher and better graphics too on top of that. We saw more stuff where they're basically trying their best to make sure the game is looking good, fantastic as well. And they're still looking for people, such as they're trying to still get senior engineer programmers and cinematic animators, gameplay animators, etc. But the fact that they're running on a nice current day engine, and it hasn't really been too many big horror games on Unreal Engine 5. I like this. I think I'm actually getting pretty excited for this. Now, to kind of wind down our very last story over here, we actually did go and see that Square Enix is now trademarking symbiogenesis. In Japan, going to Wikitorny, and is the merging of two separate organisms to form a single new organism. It's the basis for the story of Parasite Eve too as well. So we're also kind of seeing some pretty cool news showing up with more kind of spoopy horror games to kind of go hit the Resident Evil mix, because we have stuff coming out with there, Silent Hill announcements, and as well just brand new games coming out soon. So at least this October and Halloween had a lot of good announcements floating around. So give me your thoughts and comments too. Just make sure you guys are careful when it does come come to the PlayStation 5. Make sure you guys don't get spoiled for God of War 2, so be careful on that. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. I have the $500 links down below for the Xbox and everything else. And I just want to say I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Check out the Twitch, check out the Target links and Amazon links. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching in the first place.